Hello and welcome to Not So Awesome Review. Today we're looking at the DC Superpowers of Batwing and Batman by McFarlane Toys. So DC Superpowers was a line by Toy Biz back in the day. Never picked up any figures from them. I was probably a kid, assuming this is like 90s. I don't even know. That's how far back it is. But the figure style does remind me of kind of older figures like the animated series and all of those kind of figures. So I'm assuming somewhere around there. I only got the Batman Forever figures, I think, when I was a kid. Yeah, no, and the Batman Beyond ones. Those were the best ones. I'm just saying that right now. But yeah, so I never had any of these. Again, just some of those, and then a couple of the animated series stuff. But I saw this, I saw the Batwing. I've known about it for a while. I know it's been out for a while, but I just picked this up this past weekend. Saw it a couple of weeks ago, and I almost picked it up, and I kind of wish I did for one main reason. The big thing is that, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong here, wasn't the Batwing like $20 when it came out? I swear it was $20. I'm pretty sure I scanned it in the store and I was like, it's not that expensive, but I don't want to spend the money. And then this past weekend after I bought it, I look at the receipt and it's like $30. I'm like, what? So yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. Was this always 30, and am I just imagining the $20, or was it $20 and for some reason Walmart upped the price on it? Which if they did, that's horrible because this is definitely not worth 30, and we're gonna get into that in a second. But if it was 20, it's still technically not worth 20, and I'll get to that in a second. Anyways, like I said, Batwing looked cool. I've been actually the last couple of years slowly collecting a lot of the older Batman stuff. I've gotten one of his houses, the Wayne Manor. I don't remember which one, if it was Batman Forever. One of them wasn't the animated one, but I have one of those. Gotten a couple of Batwings, gotten most of the Batmobiles. I'm just missing, I believe, two of them. The Batman Forever one, ironically enough, and the Batman Beyond one. I think those are the only two I'm missing to have at least a set of all of them. Of course, I'm missing some of the more rare ones, but that's neither here nor there. I just went on the spree of collecting older Batman figures and stuff, and when I saw this, I was like, yes, I need it for the collection. I have nowhere to put this collection. I have nowhere to display this collection properly, but I need it because plastic addiction is real and we need to start a group because I am going to run out of space. But in all seriousness, the ship itself looks really cool and it comes in a tiny little box, but it's actually a pretty big size. I like some of the features on it and we're going to get to it in a second. We're just going to start off with Batman because it's just a little bit easier, and then we're going to switch to the Batwing. So the Batman here looks pretty cool. Honestly, it does throw back to, the older toy days. Of course, this one has knee articulation, which is an added bonus. Don't know if the Superpowers line ever had knee articulation, but no arm articulation, or at least elbow bend, I should say, and it is very limited. As much as I love the throwback thing, stuff I grew up with, I wish I could compose better, if I'm being completely honest. There's nostalgia, but then there's also, like, I wish it could do more. That said, the figure itself looks really cool. It reminds me of a kind of Batman Hush type of look or something from Jim Lee. I do really like the blue on it. The bat symbol looks great. The cape, which I thought was going to be cool, but one, they did this, where they have one of those little tab thingies you get on your shirts. Yeah, going straight through the cape for some reason to hold it down the packaging. Bad idea, because now there is a hole in the cape, a very visible hole. Number two, it's ribbon. The cape is basically ribbon. It's designed very similar to the way they did the capes back in the day, where they were so I just want to turn down the brightness because that's a little bit off. But yeah, like I was saying, the cape is basically a ribbon. It's that kind of material. It's all right. I mean, I like how shiny it is, but when you touch it, you can just tell it's not good material. A lot like the Spin Master stuff that's been coming out, where it's not good. It's basically ribbon material. Unlike the older stuff where it is cloth. This Batman from animated series, this is the Combat Belt Batman. Yeah, this is an actual cloth. It's not the best. It's a little bit thin. It's a little bit cheap. But you can tell this is cloth. This ribbon, which sucks, it does come off like so, and in the packaging you're going to basically have to put it on, so it's going to come like that in the packaging. You're going to move it up, put it against his shoulders right there between the neck, and it's going to just hold in there with a wire, which is how they used to do it, which is how his is, which, there you go. Articulation wise, we get the arms that go around, the legs that go up and back, and then that single knee right there, and then twist, yeah, right there. Is there any waist? No. So very basic articulation, nothing special. Like I said, it is basically a throwback to those older toys. Again, to the Superpowers line, but I'm not familiar with it. So like I said, kind of a throwback. Basically the same articulation as the animated series Batman here, just minus the knee thing, because he does have the knee thing and he doesn't, so there is that. Quality-wise, I'm not going to say it's the best feeling figure. It does feel a little bit cheap, but to be fair, you know, okay, so here's the thing. I took it out the packaging, I was holding him, and I was like, that does feel cheap. The legs are rubbery, which is accurate to, like, the older figures. The chest, I'm like, that feels cheap. Then I picked up the animated Batman, I was like, you know, that's not too far off. So to be fair, it feels kind of cheap, but it's basically the same as the old ones. So they got what they were doing. What they wanted to do, a throwback, you know, that kind of quality. It's there. And since this thing has survived, what is it, 20 plus years? I don't even know. I can say if it's anything like, you know, the animated series one here, this Batman will survive at least 20 years, which is a good thing. So good on McFarlane on that. Can't really complain. Can't guarantee the cape will last that long, especially since there's already a hole in it. That will definitely, that drains the life, honestly, because something gets caught in there and starts dripping. You're not going to be able to repair that. Again, I do not like that the cape is kind of basically a ribbon type of material and not a cloth material. It doesn't flow good at all, unlike the other Batman one where it kind of does. It's, again, not perfect, but it's better. But again, it's basically what the industry standard, I guess it is, because the Spin Master ones use essentially the same type of material for their capes. Either way, cool Batman, $10, not bad. Not something I would normally open, but I wanted to check it out. But again, probably not something I would actually buy to display. I don't think this is a line I'm going to actually actively collect. More than anything, I'll probably just get the vehicles if I like them. But we're going to get into that in a second because we have words with the Batwing. We have words. Alright, so here we have the Batwing, and honestly, I really like the design of it. It's a really nice throwback to those older designs. It looks really cool. I said design twice, so that's going to bug me in editing, but I'm leaving it in there this time. Anyways, like I said, the design of it, saying it 3 times now, is really cool. I do really, really like it. It reminds me a lot of one of the earlier Batwings from the first movie. It has that similar look. Of course, this is blue. There's the differences, but it reminds me so much of it, and that's one of the reasons why I was like, yeah, I really like that. I don't have that Batwing. I need it, but it's another story. The thing about this isn't the plastic tray it comes in. Yeah, it comes in a giant plastic tray inside the box. I would have thought it'd be cardboard. I'm not one of those crazy, like, super, oh my god, nothing can be plastic ever kind of people, but at the same time, I'm just like, why didn't you just make it cardboard? Again, that's neither here nor there, though. Feature-wise, you are supposed to be able to push this button and the thing opens, and it'd be cool and awesome if it worked on mine. The thing is, it worked once, and then when I went to close it, the peg snapped. Well, and I just dropped it, but yeah, I just dropped it again. So you just have to take my word for it that the peg snapped on it. So now the only way to open it and close it is to actually open it, if I can get my fingernail under it, and close it. And the spring is actually still in there. The spring fell out of wherever it was, and I think it got caught or something, and it snapped it when I was just like, literally, gently, very gently, just pushed it and snap. So, what's funny though, if you own any of the older type of vehicles, which we're going to do a comparison with the animated series Batwing, you'll notice a trend. A very big trend. And if I didn't have my Batmobiles in a high shelf, I would be grabbing every single one of them to show you this trend, because this is the most common thing to happen to older 90s toys. The peg snapping. If you go on eBay right now and search Batmobile, just any of the older ones, the animated series, Batman Forever, basically anything that has a lid, even when it comes to the ships and everything, you will see 9 times out of 10, broken tab, at least one broken tab, or completely missing the hood thing. So, I guess in a way you can say they are staying true to that vintage style, to that older 90s kind of thing, because the peg broke. What's more 90s than the peg breaking on the cockpit, on the canopy that opens and closes? So, yeah, great job, I guess? In all seriousness, it does suck, especially at a $30 price point. You would think it's been many years, they would have found a way to reinforce that kind of peg. They would have found a way to make that better, something so it doesn't happen. Nope, it happened. And it's not just me. I've seen reviews on Walmart On the way home, I was actually reading one because I was looking up the price to see how much it was online, and they were like, it's really cool, but it broke on me in under a minute after I opened it. I was like, that's unrealistic. Then I opened it, and under, I wouldn't say a minute, let's say under 3 minutes it broke. So yeah, there's that. Aside from that, the other features include the wings being able to come down for flight mode, which is awesome. I actually really like that. I'm very careful when opening and closing it because it does feel like there's that possibility it could snap, but it's not too bad. The more you do it, the more loose they get. When I first did it, they were a little bit more tight, so definitely be careful with that. The other feature being a lever down here that you click and it grabs on, so you can grab on to your enemies or Imposter Batman and just grab him and fly around like that. It's cool, it's neat, it doesn't need it, but it's there. And what I actually like about that feature is that it's not a thing that launches. And the only reason I'm saying that is because a lot of times when you try to get some of the older vehicles, they're missing that piece that launches out from the front, and usually that piece is part of the aesthetic of the vehicle. So years from now, when you're looking for one on eBay, you won't be missing the missile. You might be missing the canopy, and you'll probably have one that's broken with the thingy, but you won't be missing a missile part that ruins the aesthetic of the vehicle. So yay. Aside from that, it looks amazing. Like I said, the panel lines on the wing look really good. The bat symbol is stuck on there really nice. The cockpit is stickered out. There's stickers everywhere. You can see it. They're lit up. I think that's awesome because it adds so much. So many times we get vehicles that are just so plain on the inside. So I'm happy they did that. And yeah, really not much else to say in that regard. The engine in the back, no flame sticker, so that sucks. The bottom of it, pretty plain, but still really nice, really smooth. I do like it. My only complaint, I guess, would be the fact that the wings on the bottom aren't detailed. I really wish they were, especially since when you park the vehicle, the wings are up. It would have been nice to see a mirrored version of the top on the bottom, or at least a flat surface, instead of this hollowed out piece of plastic that obviously they did to save money, so they don't have to add that extra layer. But again, it would have been nice to have it just in there itself. Yeah, paint wise, it's basic. It's not supposed to be realistic. It's not supposed to have like all that fancy stuff. Otherwise, the guns would probably be painted a little bit nicer. This would be panel lined out. I probably might customize it, especially now that it's broken. Why not? But I don't know. Yeah, anyways, that's pretty much my look at the Batwing. I feel like I was going to say more negative stuff about it, but I didn't really. I mean, it's a little cheap. I'm not going to lie. Okay, so yeah, there we go. That's what I was trying to remember. My main issue with it, aside from what I already said about it breaking, is it does feel cheap. It's very plasticky. It's very hollow. It's very, if I drop this from a shelf, if I have a wood floor, it's on my shelf, there's an earthquake, it falls down, I feel like it could break. Like it could actually just fall down and crack somewhere. So I'm not cool on that, especially for $30. I feel like McFarlane could do better. They could up the plastic quality just by a little bit, make it so it doesn't break. At $20, maybe it would have been worth it still. But even then, after feeling it and messing with it, the way it is right now, I do feel like 15 would have been better. 20, okay, I get it. 30, I don't know what's up at Walmart. Hopefully I'm wrong about the price going up and maybe it was just something weird with mine and the website and the stores in other places are at 20. But if not, oh, it's so hard to recommend because it's cool. It's definitely not worth 30. Anyways, the main reason I got the Batman with this was just to put him in there. Otherwise, honestly, I don't think I would have bought the Batman figure, but I did want to get him, put him in there, see how it goes, review everything together. Just kind of slip him in there, get the cape maneuvered. He has fists, which is great. I always talk about how fists are great, but that means he can't grab onto the controls. You can close the canopy if you get him in there, right? His wings or his ears do try and get in the way. But as you can see, yeah, he fits in there perfectly good. He's kind of big. Looks a little bit, I wouldn't say ridiculous, but definitely looks out of scale. It's cool. It's nice and all. But if you have some of the older figures, you can fit them in there. The animated series Batman does have open hands, but with the lack of articulation, he can't actually grab onto the wheel either. But he can fit in there if you finagle it right. The arm's a little bit more out, but it is possible to get him in there. What I prefer and what I'm probably going to end up doing is using one of these Spin Master Batmans. Probably not this one. It's just the only one I have on hand. But yeah, these guys have a little bit more articulation. A little bit smaller. but they can fit in there pretty good. He's a smaller size, so I feel like it matches the aesthetic of the vehicle, or it matches the scaling at least of the vehicle a little bit better, and I really do like that. He's not leaning back on the seat as much as I wish he was. He can, but if you wanted to grab onto the wheel, he can't, so it's kind of like a back and forth thing there, but I do actually like that a lot better. I wish, again, I know it's a Superpowers line, I know what they were going for with it, but I wish this button worked, but I wish that they would have just made a nicer articulated Batman similar to the Vintage Collection or something. I know Spin Master is doing their own thing with these, but they still aren't perfect. What they're really missing is the ab movement more than anything, and some wrist movement and stuff, some ankle movement. Like they're almost there, but they're not. They're cool figures. I like them. I'm not going to collect them that much anymore either, just the vehicles, but yeah, wanted to put that out there. Other figures you can fit in here include Spartan Collection Spartans, because there's actually enough room for their legs. Snap it in there. That's awesome. If it wasn't the Batwing and it wasn't such a like recognizable shape, I would buy another one of these, repaint it, make it a cool Spartan vehicle or something. But because it's the shape of the Batwing, I feel like it stands out way too much to be able to actually do that without like heavy modification. But if you feel like doing it for your collection, go for it. Of course, if a Spartan fits in there, a Vintage Collection figure 100% fits in there. Your G.I. Joes fit in there. What else is there? Your Joe Toys, all of your 3 3/4 inch figures will definitely fit in there. I wish we had a nicer 3 3/4 inch DC line so that we can kind of mix and match things like this. But until then, Spin Master will do, and that honestly looks pretty cool. So yeah, pretty long rant there, I know. Anyways, here it is next to the animated series, Kenner Batwing, and you can see the size difference and everything. Very similar and very different at the same time. I do have I think it's the Forever Batwing. It folds and closes the opposite of this. It's in a different room, otherwise I would put it for this review, because it's a really awesome vehicle. It's huge. This is definitely my smallest Batwing now, and I do like it. Again, for the collection, it's awesome. This one, if you can't get the DC, I forgot what it was, but the 1/12 one from DC from a few years ago from Mattel, this is a great alternative, honestly. It's not too expensive. I really like it. I might do a review on this eventually. I'm missing the missile, ironically enough. But yeah, there we go, comparison. Again, the Batman inside of both of these does look a little bit out of scale. I feel like they should be smaller, but Spin Master kind of has that handled. If Spin Master, I know this is like a McFarlane thing, but if Spin Master wants to go ahead and make figures based on the animated series, that would be awesome, because then it would look so great, and I would just be so happy about that. But I really doubt that's gonna happen. Or if any other company just does a 3 3/4 inch premium DC line, that would be great. But a company, that's a whole nother rant. But yeah. But anyways, that is my review for the McFarlane Superpowers Batwing and Batman. Again, hard to recommend the Batwing just based on the $30 price point I paid. $20. I would feel a little bit more comfortable telling people to go for it if you are a fan. Again, I do feel like it's a little cheap, which is unfortunate because it looks amazing. It's very beautiful, but beware that 90 aesthetic comes with 90 issues. And one of those 90s issues, not 90 issues, but 90s issues is the canopy peg breaking. I can't believe that, like, it's been so many years and it's still happening. It's so weird, but yeah. As for the Batman, if you're a fan of that style, yeah, $10, not bad. It is where it is. It's not horrible. The cape could be better, but again, $10, it's not a bad figure. Again, I don't know if I'm going to pick up anything else from this line. I am tempted on Superman's ship for customizing purposes, because Superman doesn't need a ship. I'm one of those people who, anytime they give Superman any type of vehicle, I'm just like, why? But yeah, I kind of want to pick it up just to customize it. I would have to like somehow get rid of the fists, because I feel like that's weird, but it's tempting. It's very, very tempting. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully the rambling wasn't too bad. I will be doing the Halo review for the Flood Halo 3 2-pack next because it says it's delivering tomorrow. I'm excited. I wasn't expecting it, so that'll be either up Thursday, which would be not the right day for me to upload, but if I do, then it'll be up no upload Friday. If not, it'll be up Friday. I do have some other stuff, older stuff. I still have Carter to review, the Orbiter to review, one more fleet vehicle to review. I'm not getting the ATST because I'm not feeling it every time I see it. And then some throwback stuff, and we'll see how the rest of September, wow, we're in September, yeah, the rest of September goes. I am working on a few side projects that include writing art, not my art, but art, and stuff like that. So if you guys are interested in any of that, let me know. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the review once again. Thank you all for watching and listening to me ramble and ruin the English language. Again, thank you all. Goodbye.